We are live. Hi, everybody. I am the only one not wearing a work robe today, and I feel left out. I don't think they're necessarily for me. Although you can not yet. Okay, soon. So we're really excited to be joined by Courtney Spritzer, who is not only a personal friend but an amazing personality and somebody who I've looked up to for a long time in the e-commerce space. She runs a digital agency called Socialfly, but today we have her on as a Givz client and CEO of WorkRobe, and I will let her really tell us more about how this all came to be. I honestly don't know, so I'm excited to learn myself. So, Courtney, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Andrew and Nicole, for having me. Excited to be here and share how WorkRobe came to be. So as Andrew mentioned, I co-founded a social media agency called Socialfly with my business partner, Stephanie. And over the past now 10 years, we'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary in May. We've been
Congrats.
helping brands, thank you, with everything they need to be successful on social. And that includes influencer and production and paid social and managing social channels and strategy. But like a lot of business owners, back in March of 2020, we decided to take our business remote because we had to. And what has happened now that we're almost 2 years into the pandemic, we have been working remotely. And what happened when we took our operations remote is I started to come up with all of these different product ideas that would make working from home easier. And one of the products was a product I launched in August of 2020 called DigiCards, which I actually don't have them next to me, and that's a mistake on my part. But it's these very colorful cards that make you collaborate better over Zoom. Then I moved to Miami that year in 2020, and now I had a balcony. I didn't have that in my New York City apartment. So now I have, some variety in where I can work while I'm home because my apartment's a little bigger in Miami than it was in New York. And one day I found myself just taking advantage of the Miami sunshine. I had, 10 minutes in between meetings. So I just went out there and I lost track of time. And I was 5 minutes late to a meeting and I wasn't wearing something that was Zoom appropriate. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to put on? And I didn't want to put on like a blazer or a random like work shirt. The only thing I wanted to put on at that time was my robe, but my robe is this red, silky, flowery robe that would not have been professional for a Zoom meeting. So long story short, I just grabbed, I guess, a random shirt I had, went on the Zoom meeting. Can't even remember who I was talking to. But during that meeting, my mind was racing like, oh, now that I'm, working from home, it's been almost 3 months and I don't see myself going back to an office anytime soon. I had just moved to Miami. I need to buy some work from home clothes. So after that conversation, I went online and was searching for work from home clothes. And more specifically, I was looking for robes that would be professional enough for Zoom. And there were a few out there, but you really had to search for them. And that's when I came up with the concept of WorkRobe. And it was actually that day or within hours that I came up with the name for WorkRobe, did a Google search. It didn't exist, called my trademark attorney, got the trademark. And then from there, I just became obsessed with the idea of how do I develop this? And there's a long road of tons of conversations with random people. But eventually I got to create the product, which launched in September of 2021.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's
Is awesome.
It really happened because I needed this product for myself and it didn't exist. So I created it.
That is so neat. And I would have to say when I found it through Andrew, he's like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I think every woman who's working from home needs to know about it. And I was even talking to a good friend of mine and I sent it to her and she starts sending it around to all her friends because I think when you create something that you need, clearly like there could be other women that are looking for the same thing too. So I think this is just wonderful. And I am wearing a work robe as well. So
Yes,
thank you so
I have
much.
the blouse robe in
I had
black.
the blouse robe.
Robe that is almost sold out. So if you like it, today's a
I
good
have that one too. Yes. And and I just so you know, I just posted on my LinkedIn too about the special giving incentive that you're running as well. So that opens it up perfectly to also just talk about, and you actually just went into it a little bit, but I mean, clearly having the background that you have helps support launching a business. You can just see that in the way that I'm calling trademark right away. I'm holding on to this. I would just love to hear even more like how your background in running Socialfly really comes into play when launching your own brand also.
Yeah, it's very, very helpful to have the experience of helping brands launch campaigns, launch products on social media. This product in particular is really the perfect social media product because people love to take pictures of it and share it with their friends. Uh, but it was having my background was very, very helpful in starting and launching this business. And something that I also do is I run or I co-run a company called Entreprenista Media,
Yes.
which has a membership community for women. So if anyone is interested in launching their own brands or products, the Entreprenista League is a really great place to start because you'll get access to all of the tools and resources to launch your business. But from a marketing standpoint, really the playbook is create a marketing strategy and plan and figure out, what channels make sense for who you think your target audience is. And then from there, build out a strategy for each of those channels, work with influencers, set aside a budget for paid social to get the word out. You might want to invest in PR. And then, of course, you need to be creating content regularly. So having an initial photo shoot is really important. And then I partnered with you guys. I wanted to do it sooner, but I also was still trying to figure out the kinks of the launch and who the target audience was. And I did get to partner with you starting in December, and we officially launched it, I want to say, last month in January. And
Mhm.
want to say Givz is a really, really great partner and tool if you want to have a give back component to your business. It's very seamless. If you're a Shopify store owner, you can just sync it up to your Shopify store, and um, and your customers can donate upon checkout. So it's really, really nice. It makes me feel good that I'm able to give back and donate a percentage of sales to a charity of my customer's choice.
That's awesome, and it's been so fun collaborating with you and your team as we're looking ahead, as well as how to utilize Givz, how to utilize inviting your community and your customers into this giving mission, while also, and I think we just lost Andrew.
I was like, oh, he's so interested in what I have to say, of course. And this is where DigiCards comes in handy. You could say you're frozen.
But yes, I think also just looking at other narratives outside of using discounts, was another conversation that we talked about. And I would say that's also useful is um, ways to bring them into your giving mission, but also say, hey, like we can also talk about giving incentives so we can create impact with your purchase and that you can treat yourself and feel good about it too.
Exactly, and that's definitely the I call it guilt-free shopping, where you're doing good by doing something that you love, which for me is shopping.
Yes, I like it too, and so I think we're gonna wrap here. But I did post on my LinkedIn that 5% of your order, grab your work robe, goes to the charity of your choice. Check out the charities that she's featuring, including Dress for Success, and it's at myworkrobe.com. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Courtney.
so bye.
Bye.